Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today, I just got back from the gym, so I'm a little bit tired, but today let's go over the market. Let's talk about Tesla's massive reversal today, what it can mean for the rest of the week, because we have another, yet again, another crazy week ahead of us. We have pretty much the big daddies reporting today. Tesla did last week, of course. This week we have Amazon, Apple, Google, Facebook. So yeah, some pretty big ones reporting this week. So this will be, especially Apple. Apple's like Thursday, by the way, is extremely important. So, definitely need to pay attention to that. So Apple single-handedly can move the market. Anyway, all that being said and done, let's talk about Tesla. Ending the day down 1.49% compared to the market, definitely a massive underperformance. However, taking into account its reversal today, I would actually say today was quite a good day in my opinion. Honestly, not financial advice. Again, anything I say in this video is not financial advice. Make your own decisions, do your own research. But ending at $211.25 and pretty much flat in the after hours, right? So what does this mean, ladies and gentlemen? What does this mean? So Tesla fell as low as under 200, came down to all the way 198, I believe, or something like that. Let's take a look. What was the low of the low? It was pretty much right at, like 198.6, man. That's insane. Some people definitely gobbled up some of the shares here. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of them. However, I did buy today. I did buy more on both of my accounts, which I am very happy with. Somewhere around this like 204 to 3 level, somewhere around here is where I bought pretty much. So I'm very happy with those buys, obviously. But let's talk about what this means for Tesla, what we can expect moving forward. So first and foremost, we did seemingly break out of this little second mini wedge, if you will, that we were in, right? The first one was this yellow line that we broke out of. Had that second yellow line over here that I removed because I think it's no longer relevant, but I kept this one here just as a reminder, right? Which we did break out of over here, retested it here, and then retested it here, right? Almost retested it again here. And then we can see we were kind of setting up almost like a little mini wedge in this situation right here as well, right? As we came up to this level, got rejected, got rejected, got rejected. And then we kind of held around here for a little bit, finally pushed through, and now in theory, we are essentially retesting this breakout again, so far successfully, and we'll see if this holds. I think it should, essentially, as long as 210 holds, I think it's fine. And I'll be surprised if it doesn't. But personally, guys, I personally think Tesla is looking phenomenal here, right? It could have been a little bit of a stronger close. I will admit, the close, I did want to see a little bit of a stronger close, a little bit closer to the high of days, because this would have set up a nice looking, beautiful looking hammer reversal candle, which would have been just super disgustingly textbook, would have been just absolutely just perfection in all honesty. However, it did not do that. It was still pretty close though. You can still make the argument that this is a hammer candle. It's just a little bit messier only because the wick at the top is a little bit longer than I personally would like to see, right? However, other than this little wick being a little bit longer than I would like to see, again, if Tesla closed around maybe even 212 at least, this would have been pretty nice. Even maybe 213 would have been perfect. But this is a little bit too long of a wick. However, the bottom wick, you can see once again a lot of buying pressure coming in at these levels. So you can still technically justify this is a hammer reversal candle, which is an extremely reversal candlestick on the daily. And on top of that, you can also make the argument that we have essentially done like a triple, maybe even a quad bottom, right? Similar to what we did up here, right? Remember, we came up here, did it again, right? Same thing is happening over here, kind of just on a slightly smaller, more compressed time scale, I guess, where you can see that we came down, bounced off, came down, bounced off, came down, bounced off, came down, bounced off, right? All around this exact same level. Like I said last week on Friday, I said how it's looking pretty good, and if we do come down once again to around this level again, which I still think is possible, and that's exactly what we did today, I want to see buying pressure under 204 come in relatively fast, and that's essentially what we got, right? You can see all of these long wicks at the bottom of all of these candles pretty much under 204, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to see, and this is exactly what I was talking about on Friday, that if we do come down to these levels, I want to see the buyers really step in and push this back up, ideally as fast as possible, right? Thankfully, we saw that. That's fantastic to me so far. That is pretty much exactly what I was looking for, and that's exactly what happened. So I am very happy about that, and it's an overall fairly bullish close. The only thing that I would argue is slightly less bullish is the fact that we pretty much gap filled, or we got extremely close to gap filling, and we got pretty much slammed back down right at that gap fill, or at least relatively close to that. That's the one thing I personally don't like, but in my opinion, at these levels, there's more bullishness than bearishness, right? Because you also have to think about it from like a I guess a logical standpoint, right? If you were a Tesla bear or just a bear in general, would you be shorting Tesla here, right? Would you short Tesla here? Yeah, you could. You absolutely could. However, the fact that Tesla's already fallen this much from all the way up here down to these levels right here, which was, it was a pretty substantial fall. Like even at today's lows, that's a 37% fall from the recent highs, not even the all-time highs. That's just the fairly recent highs, right? You'd have to be pretty insane to short here, or at least short Tesla here specifically, right? It's like at least a fresh short position, mainly because it's already fallen so much. It's already setting up a beautiful base. It's bouncing off. The fact that it reclaimed 200 after falling underneath it is fantastic as well. You'd have to be pretty insane to want to short here. In all honesty, the risk versus return for shorts here seems extremely low, while the risk versus return for bulls here seems much, much higher. Again, just my opinion. This is just my thoughts. Could be completely wrong. I do want to make that very clear. But again, from my eyes, it just does not look like a great opportunity to short. It really just looks horrible, which is why I personally believe that we are looking for a bounce on Tesla very, very soon. However, with that being said, the market has essentially rallied from these lows all the way up, while Tesla, kind of has done it, but nothing crazy. Let's just say that, right? Especially with today's market, the market was up like over 1%, while Tesla at some point was actually down like 6%, even though the market was up about, well, QQQ was actually down about 1% at some point, I believe, but then it rallied up. But nonetheless, Tesla is severely underperforming the market in general, regardless today, right? So Tesla is doing that thing again where it's either lagging the market and or kind of doing its own thing, which is why I wouldn't be surprised if the market, let's say in theory, were to collapse from here, at least just, a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me if Tesla actually shows relative strength to the market moving forward, especially into next month. Mainly because I personally believe Tesla is either, again, lagging the market or it's on the verge of just doing its own thing while the market does its own thing. You know how Tesla does that sometimes. We've seen it plenty of times all the way up here before as well, right? And that wouldn't surprise me if we do that again. Now, again, the price target, where can we possibly go from here if this is the current low, which, again, I still strongly believe it is. Pretty much, again, like I said, my main targets is pretty much between 243 to 253 roughly. To keep it simple, pretty much this line right up here, I would not be surprised if we at some point within the next couple of weeks bounce up to this line and pretty much come up to around 250, maybe, give or take, 5 points or something like that is my current price target, right? On top of that, you can also see on the daily, we came pretty low. The RSI, even I was watching it specifically, even when the stock was pretty much sitting around 200, the RSI was still not looking that bad, actually. It was still, I think it pretty much came down to around the same level that this was, if not maybe just barely touching this, median line over here, right? Which is great considering, it's making lower lows while the RSI is essentially making arguably higher lows even then, or even this low on the stock itself when we breached 200 or around 200. That is a good sign in my opinion as well, right? So we're definitely starting to see those longer time frame bullish divergences really start to solidify and not falter so far at least, which is fantastic. The EMA 21 is still well above us. The Bollinger Band, we're in between the white and the red, which again, I still at the very least think will come up to this white line, which pretty much brings us to 230 minimum. I'll be surprised if we don't do that. The 50 and the 200 are well above us, so it's not even worth talking about. Well, that's another topic for another day potentially. And we are essentially approaching the 5 and the 10 short-term moving averages, right? Which is going to be important to break through to really recapture this momentum and really start getting this rally. And the easiest way to think about it, guys, is number one, you want to recapture both of these bad boys, which are just above us around 215. You want to hold it and maintain above it, most importantly, for at least a couple of days, right? And that's essentially, in my opinion, one of the main confirmations that the reversal is here and we're ready to get a bit of a rally going. So that's kind of what I'm seeing at the very moment. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my projection. Again, this is going to be a wild week. A lot of things can potentially fall apart. If Google, Amazon, Apple especially, maybe Facebook. I feel like Facebook, people are expecting it to not do that great. But, especially if Apple or like Google or like even Amazon just completely shut the bed, of course, it can potentially affect Tesla, right? Just as the market itself falls. Now, I'm personally entering a bit of SPY puts at pretty much almost a high of today, which was around 379. I did enter just a very small position in puts. Going to potentially scale in if we do rally, and that's essentially just my main hedge because I am overall very, in a lot of bullish positions. And I'm pretty much all bullish positions right now, if not some cash still, of course. But, I am hedging a little bit with some SPY puts just in case the market falls. I still believe even though if the market falls, Tesla has a decent chance to potentially do its own thing and rally against the market. That would not surprise me. Now, one thing that could be contributing to today's massive fall, especially in the morning, could be either one of two things. It could be Elon selling for Twitter, because some people were theorizing that, today is the day that, selling essentially reopens for, insiders on Tesla. Of course, such as Elon for Twitter. That's possibility A, and or it could also be because on Sunday, Tesla reduced the prices of Y and 3 in China, which I personally think is fantastic news because apparently the orders have exploded. And apparently there are a lot of people in China that weren't buying Teslas mainly because they were waiting for these price cuts, which they were expecting to come. They finally have, and now the orders are exploding. I think it was fantastic. I think it's great. I don't think it's bearish at all. Obviously people will spin it, but I think it was fantastic news. And I think that also could have contributed to why it fell like this today. And on top of that, I mean, other EVs like NIO, XPeng, etc. did fall. They were actually down about 20% at some point. They all recovered, it seems like, which is pretty wild. You can see. But yeah, anyways, that's kind of what I'm seeing, guys. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys for tomorrow's update. Until then, have a wonderful day. Peace.